guys, what I chose to write about for my final project was Phoebe Palmer's evangelical influences during the 19th century. Phoebe Palmer, she was raised in a devout Methodist family, and in the Methodist faith, what everybody really was waiting for was what was called a second blessing. And what this was is an emotional experience that people would be subjected to that would allow them to really be converted further into their faith. And Phoebe Palmer, she never really experienced this. She kept waiting for this experience to come about onto her, and nothing really brought it on to her until after she had suffered the stillbirth of 2 children. And she's really accredited to be one of the women, one of the people who changed the second blessing from being an inward experience to an outward experience. And what that meant is, instead of inwardly waiting for something to come and happen inside of you, you could actually do something to make this experience happen to you. Phoebe Palmer actually said that you didn't have to wait for this experience to come to you. What you had to do is you had to proclaim publicly that everything that you had was because of God and God's blessing upon you. And you had to proclaim this publicly and really devote yourself to God. And that would be your second blessing. In the Methodist faiths, also, women could be spiritual leaders. So Palmer was a spiritual leader. She was an outspoken women's rights activist. She was very active in the women's temperance movement. She was a major influencer for women like Frances Willard. A lot of you had actually written about her and spoken about her in the last week's discussion board, which I very much enjoyed listening to. During this time period, we have a major problem in the United States with drinking and drunkenness, and that trickles down into society and how families are basically being affected by drunkenness. We know how that affects them today: abuse, neglect, and onward. These women really put an effort in to start protecting children and women in the home whenever it came to alcohol abuse. So Palmer was one person that was really accredited for this. She has a very impressive career. If you guys ever want to really look up her traveling ministry, she traveled for 20 years by herself. She was married, and her husband supported her and loved her along the way. And he kind of took on the role of Mr. Phoebe Palmer and was proud of her. And that really helped contribute to her success. And that impresses me, especially during the time period that her husband was so proud of her. And that's wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about Phoebe Palmer. I hope you're interested in her and want to learn more about her. Please check out the sources I have listed below if you are interested in her. I can't wait to see what you guys all have taken your semester to learn about. And I am so glad that I got to work with all of you. I look forward to working with you in the future. If you guys ever need anything from me, please reach out. I'll be happy to help you.